Hey YouTube, longtime seller here, reaching out to you on a special topic. Let me give you a little brief backstory. I'm a longtime seller with over 6 years experience, selling on multiple platforms. My primary platform has always been eBay, but I also sell on Mercari. I've sold on Amazon. I sell on Whatnot. I sell on Facebook Marketplace. I have a small brick and mortar store. So I have a lot of venues where I sell products. And today's topic, I want to cover storage auctions and storage lockers, and similar to what you see on Storage Wars. And there are multiple venues, online venues, where now the majority of storage places run their auctions online with pictures. And so I want to cover a couple of things about purchasing a locker and what to look for. And now it's a really deep subject, but I'm just going to touch on one topic, which is safes, whether it be a regular safe or a gun safe. Now, many times when you're looking at these pictures of these auctions, and they show multiple pictures, and I always view mine on my computer screen. I have an extra large computer screen, and I want to see these pictures big, bright, and where I can zoom in and see details, and that's how I shop and figure out which locker I'm going to buy. Is I want to see the details, because I assess a value on the contents of the locker that I can see, and that determines my bid. And I don't bid on what might be there. I bid on what I can see, the value that's there. And if you do that, as a rule of thumb, you're not going to lose money. You will always gain ahead, because there's always the unknown. And the unknown is sometimes nice, but when it comes to safes, many times I see lockers that have a gun safe or another big safe sitting out prominent right there at the front or right to the side where it's real easily seen, and there's close-up pictures on it. And I'm going to tell you something about safes. I have bought, let's say I buy 50 to 60 lockers a year, every single year for the last 3 or 4 years. That's quite a few lockers I've processed. I never, ever bid on a locker because there's a safe in it. Because let me tell you, with my experience, 90 to 95% of the time, there's nothing inside those safes. When somebody goes and puts their contents in storage, they're doing it for multiple reasons. One of it is maybe they're downsizing, they run out of room, or they've run into financial trouble and have to put their stuff in a storage locker. Now, you see a gun safe, and I watch these bids, and you'll see a gun safe, and people just start going crazy, bidding left and right, running the bid up, and this locker goes for 10 times what it should. When a person puts their items in storage, with a few little exceptions where maybe somebody's being put in a nursing home or illness or things like that, even financial struggles, the items that are kept in a safe are valuable, because that's why they're put in a safe. So people don't leave those valuables in a safe and go stick it in a storage locker because they're struggling. The valuable items inside a safe are pulled out because they're lighter, they're more portable, they're easier to handle, they're easier to sell. Then you have this big, heavy, lunky safe. That's not easy to port around. It's not easy to look around. That's the first thing that goes in storage. That's why they're empty, because people pull the items of value out of those safes, and they put that big, heavy safe in storage because they don't have the room, they don't have a place to keep it, and things like that. Now, there are occasions with some older safes where the value is actually in the safe itself and not necessarily on the contents. So that's something to remember. Excuse me. Because I have purchased lockers before that had safes that were covered up in the back that were unseen during the auction, and that's how I got them. And I had one big giant safe, and it was maybe worth used $100. Now, granted, that's value, and that's something to recoup my money from my initial purchase, but I didn't have a combination to it, and there are ways to get the combination, and I was just going to get the combination and then sell it as a safe. And a friend of mine saw the safe and he wanted it. And he goes, I will give you $50 for the safe. And I told him, I said, look, his name's Steve. You won't know who he is. But anyway, I said, look, Steve, I said, I don't think there's anything in that safe. I said, I will sell this to you for $50, but I do not have the combination, and I don't think there's anything inside. He goes, well, I want to know, and it's worth $50 to me. So I said, okay. So I sold him the safe, and he moved over, and within a week he had it open, because actually there was a number on the safe, and he called him, and actually the company that made the safe, excuse me, with the serial number, gave him the original combination. Which, how secure is that? But anyway, so he got the combination, he opened it up, and believe it or not, there was 1 penny inside. And that was the only contents inside. There was something we heard rattle around, but it was one of the shelves, which is what I suspected it was. Excuse me for this minute. I've been running a lot of Whatnot shows and talked a lot. But anyway, the point of this is, now granted, Steve had a working safe with a combination that he could have sold for $100 and $125, and he probably doubled his money on the deal, but he put in a lot of work to get the combination, find the combination, and all that. So it wasn't worth it. And I have found the smaller fireproof safes, and those are in there, and I found one had 5 of those in there, and I busted every single one of them open, and every single one of them was filled with junk mail. And it's on and on and on with these safes. I mean, do not be misled by items you see right up front. When you're looking at these pictures and these auctions, there are some facilities that will stage lockers. Now, granted, I firmly believe that over 80% of these storage auctions are legit and they're not staged, but you do get that 10-20% where it is. And when you see one with some really cool stuff up front, the eye candy is up front, make sure you zoom in and you look in the back and you see what you're getting, because there may be a pile of mattresses back there and a bunch of boxes of junk and old clothes that aren't worth nothing. You're hauling off for them because you think there's a safe with money in there. So be wary, and when you do see a safe in there, always take into, how is it a position? Where is it? Is this how a safe would have been put in a locker when somebody's moving their contents in there? Is there dust all over the boxes and nothing's disturbed? You know, you need to dial down and think smart and look past the eye candy when you're buying a locker. And this is just some tips and tricks that I've learned, because I know when I started out, I bought some lockers because I saw something in the front. And I said, man, if this is up front, there's some good stuff in the back. And it wasn't like that. And I'm going to cover some more storage auction tips and tricks and things to consider when you purchase one to make you a better buyer of storage lockers, and how to process and sell goods, and how to recoup your money, and how to dispose of items, because with every locker you purchase, you are going to have to dispose of items. And let me tell you something, the worst thing and the hardest thing to get rid of is an old couch or a mattress. So anyway, that's my 2 cents worth this week, and I want to wish all y'all the best of luck. And this is prime time for locker buying now through the holidays, because people aren't spending money on lockers. So if you've got extra income, now's a good time to get a locker. You can get a locker on the cheap. The hardest time is after the first of the year, when income tax checks start rolling in and they restart the series on TV of Storage Wars, and people watch this and they get a little pocket rich and they think, I'm going to make more money, so prices jump up. But anyway, right now is a good time through the holiday Q4 season to get you a locker. So hey, everybody have a great holiday, and I'll catch you on the flip side.